Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is July the 3rd. This session for ELT115, section 3. And what we're going to be doing today has to do with the pronunciation of past tense or ed ending. We're going to be doing some practical exercises, also speaking exercises. Unfortunately, this is a recorded class, so all of the activities should be carried out by you individually. Okay, so I would like to pay attention to first the LMS. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the LMS site where I'm supposed to be now. Okay. Okay, so in the LMS, there are other resources that were uploaded. I want you to pay attention specifically to a couple of videos that are at the bottom in the tab called classes. So if you go to classes, scroll down, you're going to find some videos. Some of the new videos are studying from pronunciation segmentals, power pronunciation segmentals, vowels a and e, okay, which I am going to take from here to there. How to pronounce consonant sounds in British English and other websites to practice pronunciation. Also, articulatory phonetics components. As you can see here, we may see in this video that they are describing the sound f as labiodental. You already know that. Here they're giving examples. The good thing is that you can see pictures here, right? The sound z as in vision, the consonant sound z as in zero, the glottal stop as in button, right? And here you have voiced versus unvoiced or voiceless, right? Consonants. And here you have past tense ed, which might be t, d, or id. So finally, this third person singular ending, which might be s, z, or is, as in waits, plans, finishes. Okay, finishes. So the idea is quite similar when you think about past tense or third person singular present simple ending. We're going to cover today, we're going to start with this one, right, in this session. And I want you to take it, pay attention to this video that I'm going to be playing right now. Let's see if it works. I'm going to make sure that I'm sharing the sound because none of you are going to tell me because you're not here, right? So let's.
Hello again and welcome back to My English Brain. Today we are talking about ED, past tense pronunciation. Alright, let's get started. In the past tense, for the regular verbs ED, we have three sounds of ED, three distinctive and different sounds. Listen to the three verbs below for the three different sounds of ed. For example, watched, watched, planned, planned, started, started. Did you hear the difference? Watched, planned, started. The three sounds of ed are t, t, d, d, id. id. Again, t, d, id. Listen again to the pronunciation of the verbs. What sound do you hear? For example, watched, watched. That's right, it's the t sound. Watched. Next, planned, planned. That's right, it's the d sound. Planned. And the last one, started, started. That's right, it's the id sound. Started. So now we know we have three distinct sounds, the t, d, and id. But let's focus first on the t and the d sounds. Okay, now put your hand on your throat. That's right, do it. Now say the sounds t, 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 t. Now say d, 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 d. Do you feel a difference? Notice when we say t, t, there is no vibration. And that's because t is a voiceless sound. When we say d, d, there is vibration, and we have a voiced sound. Now, say the verb watch, watch. Focus on the last sound. Ch, ch, ch. There is no vibration, and that's because ch is a voiceless sound. When we want to make the past tense with the ed, we also need a voiceless sound because the voiceless ch and a voiceless t is easier to say because both sounds are voiceless. So we say watched, watched. Now say the verb plan, plan, plan. Notice the sound at the end. Plan. It is voiced. There is vibration. So when we want to use the past, ed, we need to use a sound that also is voiced. So we use d, d, because it's easier to use a voiced sound and another voiced sound. So we say planned, planned. So it's important when we think about the past tense to look at the last sound. For example, watch and plan. Now, let's concentrate on the other sounds we use with t for the past tense. We saw ch for watch, and in the past, we say watched. Now, repeat the sounds and the words for the other no vibrations. Sh, finish, finished, x, fix, fixed, s, kiss, kissed, k, talk, talked, p, stop, stopped, f, laugh, laughed. Okay, let's practice. Say the sound. Cht, cht. Watched, watched. He watched a movie. He watched a movie. Sht, sht. Finished, finished. She finished her lunch. She finished her lunch. Kst, kst. Fixed, fixed. John fixed the problem. John fixed the problem. St, st. Kissed, kissed. They kissed each other. They kissed each other. Kt, kt. Talked, talked. I talked a lot in class. I talked a lot in class. Pt, pt. Stopped, stopped. Sarah stopped the car. Sarah stopped the car. Ft, ft. Laughed, laughed. They laughed at my joke. They laughed at my joke. Now let's focus on the vibration sounds with d. We saw n with plan, and in the past tense we say planned. Now repeat the sounds and the words for the vibration. Dream, dreamed. Call, called. Er, appear, appeared. V, love, loved. A, stay, stayed. E, agree, agreed. I, cry, cried. Okay, let's practice. Say the sound. Nd, nd. Planned, planned. I planned my vacation. I planned my vacation. Old, old. Called, called. John called me yesterday. John called me yesterday. Md, md. Dreamed, dreamed. I dreamed about my grandpa. I dreamed about my grandpa. Aid, aid. Stayed, stayed. We stayed at home this weekend. We stayed at home this weekend. I'd, I'd. Cried, cried. She cried during the movie. She cried during the movie. So, Now we understand the t sound in watched. We understand the d sound in planned. Now let's focus on the id sound. For example, started.
All right, so far you have watched the video, hopefully, right? And we have focused on the voiceless t and the voiced d, which are the endings for past tense. I would like to show you a handout now. I'm going to share this handout through the chat room, and also I'm going to share it. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, this is a PDF file, and what I want you to do is I want you to write the phonetic symbol at the end, showing the ed ending for this particular verbs. If you remember, t is used for a voiceless ending, d is used for a voiced ending, and id is used when a verb ends in a plosive sound like t and d. If we have the verb, for example, want, that ends in t, then we need to use this one, right? Wanted, wanted. And if we have a verb ending in d, like need, then we need to use the same ending, needed. Okay, needed. So I'm going to attach this to the chat room. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, there's one. Okay, and here's the other one. So hopefully you have already received and the one that we're going to be focusing on now is the one that says pronouncing ed worksheet, ESL worksheet, which is the first one, okay, the one that I'm sharing with you. So transcribe the ending, right, for this specific sounds. Take a moment to do this, and then you have a section called reading practice, right, in which you're going to find several verbs which end in ed. So the idea is that you read this text aloud, and then you tell us what's the ending. What is it going to be? Is it going to be a voiceless t, a voiced d, or id? Id, right? So take a moment to work on this. Probably you're going to need between 15 to 20 minutes. So if you are working individually or in pairs, my suggestion is pause the video now so you can work on this, and then we can review the answers. Okay? Okay, please pause the video now. Okay, assuming that you have finished with the exercise, we're going to review the answers. If you have not finished with this, please pause the video now. All right, so in the first one we have started, which is id, right? Then we have needed, is also id. Number 3 we have reached, t, because ch is a voiceless consonant sound. Then number 4 we have regarded, 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 because regard ends in d. Okay, a voiceless, sorry, a voiced alveolar plosive. So it should be the option here. Decide, same thing. Decided, decided. Number 6, propped, with a t, because we end this verb with a voiceless consonant sound. Number 7, locked, t, right? Because the last one is last consonant sound here is voiceless as well. Realized, we end with d, voiced d, because the final sound here is voiced as well. Z, z, z. So we end with d, realized. Then we have number 9, noticed, st, okay? The final sound for this ed ending should be t. Then we have in number 10, bolted. Number 11, descended. Number 12, glanced, right? Voiceless. Number 13, looked, voiceless as well. Number 14, renovated, it, right? 15, we have closed. Let me pause here to give you the transcription for this one. Let's see if I can find it very quickly. Okay. Right here. I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm going to share the website. Okay, closed. I'm going to make it larger. So closed. As you can see here, the final sound here is voiced z, so the final sound should be voiced as well. Closed. Okay, let me go back to share the PDF file. Okay, we are doing number 16, which is discovered, d, voiced d. Number 17, examined, d, voiced d. Number 18, painted. Number 19, permitted, id, right? And number 20, pulled. We have a final voiced consonant sound, d, as the previous one is l. This letter is also voiced. Now, the idea would be that you could practice this on your own, and then you can read it. So the idea would be that we all could listen and we could all provide feedback. Now, assuming that you have already read this text, let's take a look at. So when Bond arrived at the renovated chateau, darkness had descended. He examined the shadowy building. Its ground floor windows were closed and shuttered. He glanced at his watch. He concluded that there was no time to lose and decided to enter. He tried the gold leafed front door, but it was locked, barred, and bolted. He decided he needed a ladder. He looked around and noticed on the grass. Noiselessly, he propped it up, propped it up, propped it up, propped it up. He propped it up against the freshly painted balcony, and started to climb. He had nearly reached the top when he spotted headlights approaching. He spotted headlights approaching. A large car pulled in through the gate. A large car pulled in through the gate. By the time it arrived at the door, Bond had already jumped through the balcony window and discovered the cause of his anxiety. That will be the practice for this text. This practice is supposed to be individual, so my suggestion would be for you to stop the video and go over again the paragraph on your own, please. Okay, after practicing with the text, I want you to take a look at the second text that I sent you through the chat room. This one is called Pronouncing ED Endings. It's a PDF file, and it is the one that I'm sharing with you. Okay, this contains some explanations in the first page, as when you have to use t, it, and d. Okay, it's totally fine if you read the explanations. I want you to work on the exercises on the second page, which are the ones that you can see here in directions. Pronounce the following ED endings. Write t for t, it for it, and d for the d sound. As example here, we wrapped the Christmas presents last night. Wrapped ends in t, because the final sound of the verb to wrap is a voiceless p, right? So on your own, you need to define if the endings is either t, it, or d for this exercise, okay? And for the second exercise, you are required to do the same, but in between the brackets or parentheses, okay? So I think you're going to take at least 10 minutes for this exercise, 10 to 15 minutes. So that's going to be the last activity for this first half. After you finish with this, you take a break, and then we review the answers. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording now, because you're going on a short break after the exercise. Okay.